Here, are we up? Are we up? We are up. Yeah, we're live.
I was about to say, what the fuck does up mean? But
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to Nerding Out. We're back, and first I gotta ask you. I told you I'd get use out of it.
it's a Halloween store-bought modulator. Do not expect much.
Yeah. Here, actually,
That's the only time I'm going to use it.
Hit me with another sentence, see if we can actually understand what the fuck you're saying.
You can understand it, for the most part.
You sure, dude?
All I heard was fucking gut you like a fish.
Yeah.
I'm taking
it's
the
not
mask
great.
off now. I can't see shit. I'm blind.
I'll leave mine on for a second, because... Yeah, it doesn't look that bad.
Hey, it's me.
Gibby's back to normal again.
I was Ghostface.
It's like the end of a... It's the end of...
Gibby is Stu in this scenario.
It's the end of a fucking Scooby-Doo movie.
It was me all along!
It was me all
And I would have
along.
gotten away with it if it wasn't for you, depressed preteens. That's Scooby-Doo. I'm not talking to y'all.
Yeah, man. That tracks, actually.
So what's up, boys?
Chilling, man. It'd be Halloween mañana.
Yes,
we're
it's
back.
our day.
It is
Samhain.
it is the eve of Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
You got that?
We have so
Got
much
that?
to catch up on.
Da-da-da. Okay, I was loud as shit.
Like an immense amount of content to catch up on.
Yeah, lots of content to catch up on.
Then let's get into it.
Am I 3 or am I?
I'm 3.
You're 3. What am I?
You're number 1.
I'm
All I
1.
know is I was handed
Check.
a mic
I am
and
number
I
1.
had
That's
no-
crazy. Garrick's casually making alcohol in the back at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Gotta love it. It's Halloween weekend.
It's Halloween
It is
weekend.
Halloween
He has an
weekend.
excuse. Okay,
This is true. This is true.
So
How
I
is it?
don't. How is it?
He's making a kamikaze shot. There you go.
So the Halloween movie came out recently.
So are we gonna? I was gonna ask. Are we gonna start off on that? Do I get to go all in yet?
Go for it, dude.
Serge hasn't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna watch it pretty soon. So
So
I'm just gonna be the layman who asks questions because I don't know shit about this movie.
So I'm just gonna say we're gonna go over the good things as most as a good critic does, go over the good parts, and then we'll critique. So I have more time to critique.
That tracks.
So as a Halloween sequel, Halloween Kills was a great fucking movie. Great fucking movie. Great installation to the 2018 movie. I have to say this was definitely Michael's shining moment. And I also have to say that the passing of the mantle, as I said in previous episodes, was totally correct when we watched this. Was it not, Gibby? Huh?
Yeah, something.
We stand
I'm
lemonade.
good.
I'm good.
I gotta drive, dude. I can't drink lemonade before I drive.
That's a responsible adult. Meanwhile, I'm a degenerate. My lemonade is going
You're
down.
not driving, dude.
Exactly.
He is Stu. He's Ghostface, so of course not.
You know how I'm gonna feel after a couple of these lemonades? Little woozy, man.
That was
Thank
good.
you. Good night.
That was good.
Ever since Garrick has seen Scream, every time he walks out of a room, he's like, "I'll be back," and I'm like, "You douchebag! You watch Scream." I did not think that Stu was gonna leave as much as an impression on him as it did.
He's literally Stu.
There's a lot of things until I saw Stu come up behind Billy and start making fun of Jamie Kennedy in the movie. I was like, that's Garrick and Sergio.
Yeah, 100%.
Fuck.
You know what? Every time I try to look at you while you're talking, I just see Michael's cock. And
Hey,
it's like,
man.
I'm just like,
Hi.
hi. You were talking, and I was like, cool.
So speaking of Michael, I bought this the other day for the purpose of our Halloween party and for filming. And so me being the asshole that I am, I put it at the top of the stairs where he looked just totally menacing enough to where Gibby and Justin came out of the room.
You jealous, Mickey?
What are you doing to him? Stop touching him.
He's holding his hand.
Look.
God damn it. I have to fucking worry about you stealing my man and then also this one too?
Good job, babe.
Stop clapping.
You just slapped him on the ass.
Yes.
No,
That's
so
fun.
I put it at the top of the stairs, and Gibby just like I was sitting there doing my makeup. They were fucking taking forever to come out of their rooms. I was just waiting.
I was in the middle of a stream, okay?
I listen to music really loud when I do my makeup, but that day I needed to hear the screams. So all you heard was, "God damn it, Nikki!" At the top of the stairs. I was like,
Bro, I almost fought someone because when I came here for this podcast on Wednesday, it was in front of the bathroom door. And so I walked in and I was like, yo, what the like I was about to fight him, dude. And I was like, I was just freaking
Dude, Justin ruined that. He was so close to ruining it. He didn't ruin it because he went into the restroom and was like, Jesus. And
Hi, honey.
me and Garrick were just like, Justin, just close the fucking door.
Yeah.
Sir hasn't seen it yet. Just close the door.
I'm telling you, stop.
I want him to do that so
Take the
I want to
mask
turn the
off.
camera just to see so everyone can see that.
No, he's walking around dropping his ass in the Halloween 6 mask, and I don't know what to do with him. Honestly,
don't move the camera.
Here's
Don't
the
move the
thing.
camera.
They say that, you need to find your perfect man. I say make your perfect man, because 3 weeks before we were dating, he was not fucking walking around in a Michael Myers mask.
For everyone that just heard, Nikki is in fact Dr. Frankenstein.
Dr.
She's making her
Frankenstein?
perfect
Oh.
man.
No shit. they say find your perfect man. I say make him. Now he walks around in a Halloween mask and he critiques every fucking movie he
There
sees.
you go. But no, you were gonna say about passing the mantle.
So Allison was fucking amazing. I cannot tell you how much I fucking love her so much. That she had a moment with Michael, and you didn't get to see it, but him and I both love this moment. And it's towards the end when they go into the house, her and the boyfriend that she blew off that night, and she goes upstairs, hears him being attacked by Michael, and she comes up with just full on butcher knife, and she's like, shink, 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 shink.
Nice.
Like 3 times, sir.
Nice.
3 times.
Love that.
Nice little hits, and it's like, when you sit there and you go back and you think about every woman who's gone up against Michael, including Laurie Strode, she just got the best fucking beatdown on him that I think I've
100%,
ever
yeah.
seen. I have never seen anyone be able to get close enough to him to just do the same thing he does to
100%.
other people. So I found her to be fucking amazing. I honestly thought that, but I think for this movie, it was an Allison and a Michael strong movie. Wouldn't you agree, Gibby?
Oh yeah. The movie was so good. What happened?
Oh no, I was trying to turn my headphones up because I can't really.
Can you turn mine up a little too, please?
Yeah, I think you're 3 or 2.
I don't know.
You're 3, she's 4.
She's 4.
Yeah.
Hello, hello?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Perfect.
Are we still recording?
Yeah, no, we're good.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the movie was really good.
Okay.
Like this movie it was strong throughout. Most horror movies are like they take a real dip in like some part of the movie. But this movie, I loved the action that they had.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they had a lot of violent scenes. Like there's one scene where Michael takes on 3 people. Remember the one, Nikki, in the van?
Oh yeah.
It's fucking amazing. Like I don't want to say anything because it's like it shocked me when
I'm
I
gonna
saw
watch it.
So let me just put it this way for people who actually, Gibby just got completely into Halloween and he listened to all of the what's the podcast you listened to for it?
Let me
I
look
think
it
it's
up.
called the Halloween podcast.
He listened to the Halloween podcast and learned about everything. And once he learned about everything, he completely understood.
Nice.
And when I pose this to you, I think you'll understand. Is it not a sequel where it took ideas from previous Halloweens and made them better?
It took like something from everything. By the way, it's called The Definitive Companion by
Okay.
RKG. If anybody wants to listen, it's fucking amazing.
Nice.
So,
They've been going through every single Halloween movie for the past like 12
they just
weeks.
did Halloween
Nice.
Kills, did they not?
They,
with the
they did
Jamie-
Halloween
with the Jamie Lee
Kills.
Curtis.
One of the guys interviewed Jamie Lee Curtis and the director. I forgot his name. Something Green.
David Gordon Green.
David Gordon Green. He interviewed both of them, and then it was the 2 main people of the podcast. Since only one of them got to interview the director and Jamie Lee, they were talking about it, and then he put in clips from
That's awesome.
from the interview. It was really cool.
I love Danny and everything. He's the other, I believe he's the other director, producer, Danny Green. I love him, but I would have loved to sit down with David. Oh my God, I would have loved to sit down with David. I saw some behind the scenes clips of him talking about the way they wanted to go with the mask, the way they wanted to go with the people and everything like that. And it's just the ideas that come out of his head. You're sitting like, there were always ideas when I was a kid, every time a shitty Halloween movie would come out. Like when Rob Zombie came out, me and my dad always joked, if we could remake it ourselves, we would do it all over again, just simplistic.
Yeah.
And what I find amazing about this sequel, not because it was a good sequel and not because it does all these things that all the other Halloweens did badly.
Mm-hmm.
It was because it took the original meaning of it and didn't fuck it up this time. Every other timeline has taken the brother-sister storyline, ran with it, beat it into the ground. Rob Zombie made him into a typical serial killer like fucking Ted Bundy, and I've never been more disappointed. I'll never forgive you for that, Mr. Zombie. And if you fuck up the Munsters, I swear to God.
Is he doing Munsters?
Yeah.
You didn't know about
His
that?
wife is gonna be Lily Munster.
Yeah.
I'm upset now.
I'm trying to figure out how he got the rights to the Munsters, but anyways.
I never knew that I was going to hear the monsters say, "Get over here or I'll fucking kill you," or some shit like that.
Or I'll make you into a half mermaid.
Yeah.
But back to Halloween. So Halloween Kills, the reason that it gave for what Michael is the only reason that anybody's ever needed. And I don't care what any of you little fanboys say. There's nothing you needed more to the fact that he's pure evil. Yeah. She looks badass. They look badass. They look really good.
That doesn't actually look that bad.
No, it doesn't. They look great.
Yeah.
They look great. It's just how they're going to go about it.
Yeah.
If it's white trash, I'm going to be really upset.
It's a Rob Zombie film, so of course it's gonna be white trash.
I knew the monsters are from a trailer park.
Yeah, right.
So let me just give you a little brush, like a summary of what they basically said about Michael.
Okay.
Because the reason why, because he messaged me and he was like, wait, H2 isn't in the new timeline? I was like, no. So they cut out H2 because the night that everything happens initially, when he goes after Lori and the kids, he was captured by that one cop that said that they, captured him and everything, Hawkins, that almost died. And he explains what happened that night. And him and his partner went looking for Michael after that when everyone was searching for him and Michael was in the house. Michael always goes back to his house. And the partner was talking about how he, his mom used to make him go play with Michael. He knew Michael, but he was always standing outside of his sister's window looking. And he was trying to figure out what he was looking at. So they go into the house and, the partner, two of them are separating, trying to clear the house. Yeah. He stands in front of the window in Judith's room and he looks at himself. And then he goes, Haddonfield. And then Michael just comes beaming out.
Jesus.
And Hawkins accidentally shoots his partner because he's trying to kill Michael.
Right, yeah, but, that part I remember seeing.
Yeah, that. Hawkins has to live with that and everything. But when it zooms past to towards the end of the movie when he's talking with Lori, because Hawkins gets put into the same room as Lori.
Yeah.
My favorite part, it's like the best, I think it's probably one of the best parts in any Halloween movie since the original. When Lori's sitting there saying, he's coming here, blah, 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 because they were all thinking he's coming after Lori. He goes, it's not about you. It's not about you. Telling Laurie Strode, out of anybody in this fucking film series, it's not about you. So she goes, what the fuck are you talking about? He goes, my partner saw what he was staring into that day, that he looked outside Michael's window. He was looking into himself. It was not the fact that he was after Lori. It was the fact that that's his home. That's where he knows. And when he looks outside that window, when you walk up to that window, you see the reflection of yourself. He's looking at the monster that he is.
Interesting.
And so Hawkins says, you have to understand, he's still a 6-year-old boy. That's a 6-year-old boy with the mind of an animal and the body of a man, the body of a killer.
Interesting.
So, Karen, her daughter, does it at the end too because they think that they finally got him, and she walks up to the window and she sees it herself. And there's even a little flashback of little Michael, and then Michael comes up behind her and kills her.
No shit.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a vendetta because he took her daughter.
Yeah.
Which was, I have to say, as much as Karen annoyed me in that movie, I love Judy Greer. I love her so much. I love that they put her as Karen because she was there always has to be that annoying offset that's making things even more difficult, but I still like the role that she played. But having her stand in front of the window and see what everyone else is seeing when they're trying to understand Michael and she finally sees it and then he kills her, you're just like, holy shit, no one is safe, which they never have been. But the reason why I like that idea so much is because there's nothing more, nothing less to it.
Yeah.
It's just the fact that he's a 6-year-old boy trying to hold back the rage that just Loomis said, hold back the rage that's been raging inside of him since he was a child. And that's why that night when Hawkins finds him and everything and they detain him, he gave up.
Right.
Because it was like he saw all these officers around him. It's like you said, it's a 6-year-old child who just got in trouble and doesn't know what to do now.
Right.
You know, so it's that same mentality. So I don't think that they muddied it. I don't think that they fucked it up. Here are my final critiques about this movie. I don't know who's writing your dialogue, but fucking fire them.
Yeah, that tracks.
I'm the one person that loves fan service. Give me all the fan service, but don't fucking say evil dies tonight over and over and over again.
But evil dies tonight.
It didn't. It didn't.
Evil never dies. Evil dies tonight.
Evil did not fucking die.
I feel like this movie had a subplot of just how much of a mob mentality can fuck with anything that's going on.
Yeah.
Even if it's for a good cause, a mob mentality is just toxic. That's what they did a whole thing about.
That was great.
How the mob chased down how the bus broke down and there was like a mental patients running around. That's how Michael got out.
Yeah.
So one of the mental patients was running around like he was scared. He didn't know what the fuck was going on.
It was a diversion.
Yeah, he was a diversion. Then all of the mob started chasing him because they thought he was Michael.
And Karen tries to stop all of that, so that's kind of like her
liked
story.
Karen in that part
that's
because
what I meant.
Right.
I liked her role as trying to stop that.
She played the grounded person for that because everyone was like, Michael needs to die, but he was just a helpless mental patient who didn't know what the fuck was going on, who ended up killing himself.
And so, henceforth, we will talk about the Tommy Doyle character. I never want to see Anthony Michael Hall take up that fucking man. Well, he's dead now, so can't really do it. Every person who said evil dies tonight died. And Tommy.
That's because they were fucking evil.
Because they were fucking
Michael doesn't know he's evil. No, he's not evil. He's just crazy.
But that's why I like what Hawkins said is he's still a 6-year-old boy who doesn't know what he's doing, but that's why he just, stops. But I liked that mob mentality. It was a little annoying when I was like, when they kept going over it, and it was just building up because it was more of like, when I think about I think about it and it's that same thing with Halloween 3. Nobody liked it because Michael wasn't in it. So I start to get antsy when it starts to focus on other bullshit that's not as important in my mind. But overall, when I watched that, it was really great. I just think that the dialogue was so terrible.
Yeah.
I understand the whole evil dies tonight thing, but they're like, even when you go back and watch the original Halloween, I've never had anyone turn around and say that was really cheesy with the dialogue. Like, never had anyone, because those simple like one-liners like death has come to your little town, that still is moving. That personally, as a horror fan, that's still pretty fucking crazy, because when you think back about it, like what is the sheriff say in the first one? He was like, so you're telling me that I have families up and down this block and they're lined up for a bloodbath? And he's like, yeah,
exactly.
So it's just, they can't capture, I genuinely just think they can never capture the dialogue. And what bothers me even more is that Carpenter is a producer on the movie, so I don't understand where there weren't pointers or if he was okay with this, but he's notorious for doing that, for letting them like run with his movies and him like producing. Like, he produced Halloween 3 with Deborah Hill, so
yeah,
that dialogue was trash. I think Paul Rudd should have came back as Tommy, because that would have been even more badass, because he played a great Tommy. He played a great Tommy Doyle.
But at the same level, though, I feel like with any franchise, as the franchise goes on, the dialogue progressively gets worse, because it just tries to like, it becomes self-aware to the point where it's like, we have to make this dialogue good. Just try to make it witty. Let's try to make it like it's like trying too hard to make it good.
Yeah.
Like a perfect example of this was Texas Chainsaw with freaking what's her face? The one that I hated. That's all of them, but
not the 3D one, because we like that one, right?
No. All right. Well, there was one in particular where the dialogue was just so bad that.
Was it 2? Because 2 was the one that was like the cheesy, funny one that they tried to make right after.
But that one was the 80s one. You know what I actually saw? The final girl from that movie, she did like a... Have you guys ever heard of the photographer Jeremy Saffer?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know Jeremy Saffer. So Jeremy Saffer has done almost everybody's picture. He's done MCR. He's done Ash Castillo from New Year's Day. He's done some really great photography. So shout out to Jeremy Saffer. he did a spread with the final
It
girl.
was Texas Chainsaw 3D.
I knew what it was. I knew you were gonna hate that one.
Yeah,
We've talked about this.
I mean, it's the movie itself is fine. It's just there's like the kills in that one are really good, but the dialogue is so bad. There's a scene toward the end of the movie where they're in the slaughterhouse with the it's Leatherface,
I know what you're
Alexander
talking
Daddario's
about.
character, the sheriff, and the sheriff's like brother or whatever, and Leatherface. First of all, this is the worst thing they've ever done. He was getting the shit beat out of him by the sheriff and this other guy. They were beating the shit out of a 6'8", 400-pound guy.
Yeah, I'd expect more
It's
from Bubba.
the worst thing. And Alexander Daddario shows up and throws him his chainsaw and says, "Do your thing, cuz," and he freaking cuts him in half with a chainsaw. It's the worst thing that they ever put in any Texas Chainsaw movie.
You know what's funny?
Ever.
And you know what I hate?
It's the worst scene.
Is that she was a great final girl had you given her the right dialogue, because she was pretty badass. But
In the movie, she was fine.
she was fine, but like the dialogue.
The dialogue was just,
can
that
literally
movie,
ruin everything.
That movie was god awful when it came to story and dialogue. Basically, it's like, oh, hey, your grandma died. She left you a house in Texas, and she goes to the house, and all of a sudden there's this secret room where he lives and kills people. It's like, oh my god, I had no idea, and then he murders all of her friends.
But that's all we're gonna tell you.
Yeah,
but that's basically all we're gonna tell you, and you're just gonna have to deal with it.
It's the worst.
And
dude.
she didn't even read the fucking letter.
Until the end of the movie.
She didn't read the fucking letter until the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So how are you gonna know that you have
Yeah,
a killer cousin downstairs in the basement?
And they were cousins. It's
fucking stupid. Anyways,
Before we move on, I have a fun fact about Halloween Kills. So in the beginning of the movie, when they do a little flashback, they show Dr. Loomis.
Yeah.
But it's not a fake Dr. Loomis. It's
No.
like a real person.
Yeah, they did.
That was the set director.
yeah, that was the set director.
The set director literally, they walked on, Joseph Gordon-Green, is that the director's name?
David
Gordon Green?
David Gordon.
David walks out on set and he sees him and he's just like, "You look like Loomis." Literally. So they just put a couple prosthetics on him and just like, there you go. You're good.
See, and that's the thing. I loved that, but again, they can't capture Donald Pleasance. No one will ever be
But
Donald
he
Pleasance.
looked so much like him.
He did.
It's only like a 5-second scene anyways.
But again, the dialogue is what fucked it up, because when Hawking shoots that officer on accident and
Yeah.
Michael goes running downstairs to and they detain him, he comes running in the Myers house and he's like, "Did Michael kill again?" And I'm like, obviously, first of all, yes, he probably killed again. Second of all, who the fuck's writing at Blumhouse? Seriously,
Yeah.
like, genuinely, I was fucking angry after I was sitting. Like, I have to take time and watch it a second time to go over the things that I like, because when it comes to Halloween, I'll instantly start picking it apart.
Listen, all I'm saying is Happy Death Day kind of like left a bad taste for Blumhouse. I'm like, all right, man.
Blumhouse is either hit or miss.
Yeah,
Here's the thing.
It's hit or miss.
With Blumhouse, there was 4 movies that I'm just like, all right, you guys could. It's a dice roll. That was Unfriended, Unfriended 2, Happy Death Day, and Happy Death Day 2.
And Truth or Dare.
Truth or Dare.
But one more, a couple more things that I did like. We can't not ignore the firefighter scene. And it was funny because all I heard was people talking about how much they wanted to.
What was it? Was he down here? Garrick.
Babe, are you fucking around with the mask?
Damn, that's crazy.
I'll be right back.
You know how people were trying to get that scene pulled because it killed, like.
Oh yeah, because he killed firefighters. Yeah, they're like, oh,
Bro.
he's firefighters.
I was like, it's stupid as fuck. I would never agree with that. But then you watch it and you're like, no, because it does one of those, I forget what the shot's called, but it's the pano shot that they do when it's a group of people and they want to show the terror on their faces, and they just do a wide pan shot.
Yeah.
So they do a wide pan shot of the firefighters right as Michael walks out, and he fucking just, and he's like, I'm gonna kill everybody.
It's actually really fucking
And no,
good.
he
Yeah.
comes out with the fucking axe, swings it to one hand, and he's just like, I guess I'm taking on a group of fucking.
The best part is you
firefighters
see the
today."
firefighters and they're just like, they don't know who the fuck he is.
No,
Because
he-
all they know, because they don't know who Michael is. They're just here to
No.
put out a fire.
No, and you know what's funny? I just theoretically, like, to be technical, when you think about it, she was on the outskirts of Haddonfield. So I don't think that they were going to send all of Haddonfield's firefighters. So they either sent like a small one, like a small unit, or they sent like Warren County or like Russellville's the next city over. So they did not know who the fuck he was.
Even if they were in Haddonfield, let's be honest, it was 40 years ago. They're like 30-some-year-old firefighters.
That's true. But also at the same time, what I loved about it too is you knew they didn't know what the fuck they were dealing with. Because when they walked out, it's not, who is that? It was, what the fuck is that? And then they see him and, you know, I have some times where I feel really empathetic because people do some really great acting. And those firefighters, I felt empathetic because like the way that they must have like guided them to react, they were just like, I'm going to get this high pressure hose and try to do what I can. No, I felt bad. There was one dude that was in the front. The first fucking dude that gets taken out had a high pressured hose.
Wow.
And like, poor guy probably didn't really know what to do. So like, I can't even shit on him for that. But like, he was just like,
I mean, first of all, it's not often the firefighters end up going against people with disabilities or people who are trying to fight them. Second of all, it's just the way that the scene goes. Michael comes out and all the firefighters, they look terrified.
Yeah,
like the
it's
acting is great.
shot.
And then they don't say shit. They literally just ready their weapons because they see Michael shift the axe and they all just go, all right. Like they all get their weapons. Some dude gets the chainsaw, the jaws of life,
fucking jaws of
the
life,
buzzsaw, and they're just like, okay.
All I'm saying is, bro, Illinois hits different.
Hey, they were ready to fucking throw hands like immediately.
No, and that's like I genuinely felt
Country
bad
boys
for the,
make do.
I genuinely felt bad
Country
for those guys.
fed boy.
But you know what's funny? I was laughing because I was telling me and my dad were talking about it because he's very critical of this new one. He doesn't like what they're doing with it, and I can understand. He's much more of a traditionalist than I ever was. Yeah. And we were talking about that, and he was laughing because, you know, he's a sergeant, and he's like, what about the firefighters? I was like, you're so shitty.
That just sounds petty.
Yeah. No.
What about the firefighters?
And you know what's
did they die? Were they not trained enough?
Because you know what the trope is for Halloween is, right?
Yeah.
That the cop's daughter always dies.
Of course, yeah.
Cop's daughter always dies, so that's me. So I was laughing with him. I was like, you're fucked up for saying that about the firefighters. He goes, hey, you should be lucky. It's usually women like you that die because you're the cop's daughter. I was like,
women like you.
No. Oh, no. Not in that way. It's the cop's daughter, which meaning women like you. But it's the fact that he was like, you should be lucky because usually you would be in the position. And I'm just like, damn, fuck, you're right.
It's true.
I've never thought about that. I was like, cop's daughter, I'd be fucked. I'd be Annie. I'd be the one to go first. Great. Well, if I'm Annie, well, no, actually, does Paul die in the first one? No, Paul doesn't die. Annie's date because he doesn't ever come over. She never gets to pick him up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scene was insane. That's probably one of my favorite kills. I believe he actually surpassed kills for this movie.
All right, that makes sense. I mean, hey, James and Janice, get on that. We'll see if he does.
I want to hear what your kill count video is going to be.
Yeah, I can't wait for his. I think it already came out. His podcast episode on the movie.
I don't think so.
I think it came out already.
Let me check because I know I was listening to him for a bit.
But yeah, well, since it is the Halloween edition, should we go into
Hasn't come out yet.
Hasn't come out yet?
Nope.
Okay. Should we go into maybe some of our favorite moments from the Halloween franchise?
Oh yeah, I'm down.
Y'all can go ahead. I'm still new to the series.
First.
Yeah.
I always like hearing your favorites of Halloween.
Okay, so personally, I do like the Halloween franchise. However, there's a caveat to this. Personally, I think that nothing will ever beat the first movie.
Nothing. No.
It's the greatest slasher film ever made. It's the greatest slasher film of all time. It's the best one. Like, because I mean, I'm a diehard Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan, but you know, and even though Texas Chainsaw did have the first Final Girl, to be fair, the perfect slasher film is the first Halloween movie.
Yeah, because we'll never denounce Hitchcock. Hitchcock started it. Hitchcock will always
Hitchcock started it.
Hitchcock started it. But if it weren't for the fact that John Carpenter was like, oh, that's Janet Leigh's kid. I'm going to put her in a movie. And I'm going to have a guy in a white mask that looks like William Shatner run after her. And then she's going to make money off of it for 40 years.
Yep.
if it weren't for that simple fact, Psycho would have still been number 1.
100%. But also, like, not even that. Like, the fact that as a franchise, well, not even as a franchise, as a movie, the first Halloween movie, it started all of the tropes.
Oh, 100%.
That was the one. Like, one of my favorite scenes of all time, and it's to this day one of the probably the best scenes in cinematic history, is in the first one where I forgot the boyfriend that dies, the one that gets pinned to the wall. I keep forgetting his name. Whatever. Point is, when he goes downstairs,
am I blanking out on this?
When he goes downstairs and is completely oblivious to Michael's presence, and Michael just literally holds him against the wall.
Oh, Bob. His name's Bob.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That scene, when he literally just gets pinned up against a wall and just whack. That is one of my favorite scenes in cinema, period.
That is actually the first time you see the head turn.
Yep.
Which Garrick from fucking my boyfriend he does it so well. He creeped out my dad. My dad, we were trying on the fucking masks to see which one he was going to use because I have two from.
Do the head turn.
I have no. Literally, I was like, babe, do the head turn. Show him, and he was like, and my dad was like, he's like, okay, that's.
And I believe shortly after that, the first time you ever see his eyes, correct? In the first film, was it right after that kill, or was it?
So the first time you ever see his eyes are actually when she takes off his mask, and it's Tony Moran.
That's right.
Because that's not Nick Castle.
What am I thinking of then? Because there's
you know what you're probably confusing yourself with, and I do it all the time. It's the behind the scene pictures.
Oh,
like you can even look at him right now, and you can see the faintness because Nick. They would black out the eyes, but the only thing is like I have to look it up. I don't remember if Nick Castle blacked out his eyes because I have to do it for Garrick to make it look like there's no. It's darker.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work as well. I think that first mask, the very first one, just hovered over his face enough to where you couldn't see it.
Yeah.
But then when there's HD pictures that they have, like, the woman who did the photography for all of Halloween, I was lucky enough to, when I worked, the first couple of Halloweens at Sugar Mint Gallery, shout out to Sarah, I love her so much. I got to work her gallery and stuff right next to the actual Myers house in Pasadena.
Oh, wow.
And I was just helping out, hand out drinks if anybody needed anything. I was making sure nobody touched anything because she had so much memorabilia there. She had the original photographer. I forget what that woman's name, but she was so sweet. She sat down with me the entire time and just let me ask whatever I wanted.
That's amazing.
I got to ask fucking everything. And this is a woman, it is rare to get a hold of somebody to sit down and talk to them from that original set because it was so small.
Of course.
You have to remember, there wasn't a lot of people, and it was shot in I don't know how many days. And it was a whole cast and crew of people that did a lot of things. People were picking up Jamie Lee Curtis and everyone was picking up leaves and everything after sets because it wasn't fall in Pasadena at the time. People were doing a lot with a small crew.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get a hold of those people. So I got to sit with the fucking photographer for the entire time. And she just kept telling me stuff. She was like, it was like this. It was summer. It was like this and all this. And it's just so interesting to hear.
Yeah.
And so it was funny because I asked her, there's a picture of John Carpenter's band, the Coupe de Villes. And it's that one picture that I even posted on my Instagram.
Casual.
Oh, no, this is what I was telling you. This is the chick from Texas Chainsaw 2. She did a spread with Jeremy Saffer.
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
She looks fucking great.
That's cool.
But there's a picture of the Coupe de Villes playing, and they all have 3 Michael masks on them. And they all look like the original one. And I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, there's only one. They only ever made one. And I told her, I was like, wait, they made one. She goes, no, they didn't. She's like, who told you that? And I was like,
Reddit forums.
I was like, so where's the other 2? And she goes, I wouldn't tell you if I knew. And I was like, because you guys have to remember, the second movie's mask is the first mask. It was just in Deborah Hill's house for the longest time, and she smoked, so that's why it has that yellow tint.
Yeah.
And again, the way the mask looked on Nick was different than it did on Dick because Dick had a smaller head.
Right.
So that's why it looks like this and it looked more confined. Personally, this is always my favorite look.
Yeah.
Blood Tears. Second movie's always my favorite look. But she had a lot of interesting things to say, and it was really cool to get to sit down about that because I've never seen so many like pictures, but all of her pictures, you can see the eyes.
That's crazy.
But it's not like, oh, you can see the eyes. It's terrifying. It's fucking terrifying. And then when you hear her, like, I always like hearing people talk about when they first saw the mask, when they first made it.
Oh, yeah.
Because every person that talks about it, even John Carpenter, when he talks about it, he's like, that mask scared the shit out of me. And so she said when they first brought that out, she was like, oh my God, I didn't even know what to say. She goes, I couldn't even. And I was just like,
that's so
I would
creepy.
have quit. I would have been terrified. I would have been so fucking scared.
Plus, like, we have to like take into consideration too. Like, this was 40 years ago. You know what I mean?
Like, this is original like latex masks too. So that's how like that mask. The guy who owns it right now actually has it in like an airtight container in a room and stuff because it's so like it's falling apart and it actually looks. I wish they would do like a. I would like if
like a replica.
Like a replica, because if Halloween Kills even went in that section in that way, I'd be like, that looks fucking terrifying.
Yeah, like if it was like a replica of the original mask, how it looks now.
Yeah, because it looks like it's like it's ripping open right here. It's ripping open the way that the mask did in the second movie when they burned his face and how it starts to like fall apart. So it's really cool because that's how that mask is supposed to fucking age.
Yeah,
and I'm saying
plus,
that
like in the Halloween. The last Halloween movie, the scene where he kills the reporters and puts the mask on, that scene is like, oh my God, that's one of the best scenes in the franchise, I think, because the way that he just puts on, just like slow, like stands up, like his head kind of to the side. It's so creepy. I love it. It's
that moment, and it's funny because we love nerdy, we love Marvel and everything like that,
100%.
but it's like that moment when Tony Stark first puts the suit on.
Yes.
And then, like, when you haven't seen a movie from him in a while and something happens,
oh,
and he gets a fucking upgrade and he puts it on. When Michael put that mask on,
or when Captain America gets Thor's hammer at the end of Endgame.
Oh, okay, that
Dude,
was
I was like,
oh yeah,
it was funny because I was watching the Miranda and she's like, I knew it.
Well, side note, you know what pisses me off about that whole concept with Marvel is that. Like Brie Larson tried to get in a fight with all the Marvel fans.
Yeah,
she can pull the hammer. No, she can't. What is her name? Carol Danvers.
Carol Danvers, yeah.
Carol Danvers has never lifted Manor. She will never lift Manor. And if you do it, I swear to God, I'm done with Marvel.
So here's the thing, the funny part, at least for me, when Thor had like Stormbreaker in one hand and Mjolnir in the other, I was like, oh, it's over. Yeah, and then Thanos just beats shit out of him. I'm like, oh, damn, that's crazy. And then as soon as the hammer flies back, Miranda goes, it's Captain America, isn't it? And then it pans. She's like, I knew it!
Well, you know what?
She goes, it's Captain America. It's Captain America.
What I loved about that is because he is still always the foremost. He is the first Avenger.
He's the first Avenger.
He is the purest of heart Avenger. He will always be that uncorrupted part. And it was the fact that he's still the man that he was before they gave him the serum. Because that little man that was sickly and everything like that would have still stood in front of Thanos the way that he did. And fucking arm bleeding open, fucking just straps up and says, we're just going to do this. And we're going to do this until I kill you or you fucking kill me.
I forgot how good Endgame was.
Oh,
like how good it was.
Endgame is probably one of the greatest movies ever.
Yeah.
I wish I hope
in context. In context.
In context of Marvel itself.
Yes. Absolutely.
In context of Disney, it's up there. It's up there.
Pump the brakes on
That's what I'm saying.
Will I ever?
I'll say action movies.
Will I ever forgive them for depowering Scarlet Witch? No.
You got a TV show about it.
They nerfed her so hard.
I don't give a shit. All she has to say is, no more mutants. Do we all forget that? No more mutants.
That's what I kept saying.
And then there fucking weren't any.
That was my biggest thing, is that they, in Endgame specifically, they nerfed Scarlet Witch so hard, dude.
And you know what's funny? I got suckered in because they gave me that.
What part of she can change reality doesn't click with them?
And you know, I hate this. It's funny because it's like they're trying to appease us now. Because they were like, and I'll never forget it, they were like, only one Nexus being can exist, and Kang the Conqueror is a Nexus being, and she's a Nexus being.
Bullshit.
So it's going to have to be a war between the two of them. And I was like, oh, so you want to finally recognize that poor girl who you've just fucking battered.
You nerfed the shit out of her.
I hate what they've done to her. Yeah. Because, you know, I loved WandaVision. I'll never get over that. That was a great fucking show. Perfect. But her story leading up to it, they fucked it up with Ultron because what was the point? I don't understand what the point of getting rid of Quicksilver was.
Yeah.
Maybe
that was a dumb decision.
It was really dumb.
That was fuck, who directed that one? It was the same guy that the
Favreau?
No, he did Buffy. He has allegations. We all hate him.
Hold on.
Joss Whedon?
Joss Whedon. So Joss Whedon did Ultron. And I think that was his fuck up.
Joss Whedon.
Yeah, Joss Whedon.
Whedon.
He
Yeah.
did remember he's
Buffy, yeah.
Yeah, he's Buffy. He
Does
does
he have allegations? Not
Oh,
Joss
no,
Whedon.
not allegations. It was the whole thing with Zack Snyder.
Oh, yes.
He fucked up Justice League.
You said allegations, and I
Sorry,
thought
I didn't
now
mean it.
allegations, and I was like,
I didn't
not
mean
Joss Whedon.
I didn't. Well, fuck him anyways. He tried to fuck over Zack Snyder. Like, that poor dude had enough, and it took him, like, how many years to re-release his own goddamn movie?
Yeah.
Buffy.
I need to rewatch that.
I've been rewatching it.
But yeah, no.
It's good.
She deserved a lot better when it came to power because I got suckered in when I saw Endgame because just watching her, like, hold up Thanos' sword and then just be like, my other hand's free.
Yeah.
And just sucker punch him, but that was all I got. And then you don't get her to be full Scarlet Witch until the show fucking ends.
And plus, not only that, Quicksilver's death was so anticlimactic for who he is as a Marvel character. Like, to me, it's the same treatment that they did. You saw Deadpool 2, right? Yeah. You remember Shatterstar? Yeah. When he just got obliterated by a helicopter? We're like, dude, are you kidding me?
That was all the X-Force right there.
It was
with
the entire
Deadpool.
X-Force.
You know,
It made sense in context, but it pissed me off so much.
You know what I hate about that too is that they had Bill Skarsgård in there as the acid dude.
Yeah.
Hollywood, you guys need to utilize that more.
I think that was the only reason that they did it, though, because they got Brad Pitt, they got Terry Crews, they got Bill Skarsgård. It was just a gag,
you know,
which is understandable
it was a gag.
for
I
Deadpool.
get that. I just mean in general, I think that he needs to be. I was actually. Did you watch Hemlock Grove?
What?
Did you watch Hemlock Grove?
No, I never got into it.
Try it. Try it. Just
is it a show or a movie?
It's okay. So it's a show. It's got that whole vampire werewolf thing going on.
Why am I thinking of a movie?
But Famke Janssen, who is the original Jean Grey from the X-Men movies, she plays his mom in that movie, and so they're vampires, and that's her son. But the way that the lore is kind of different, and it's really interesting. It's not like our same basic like Anne Rice bullshit.
Interesting.
So I would be so interested in seeing him as like I'd be totally okay with him trying even Lestat because of how light-haired he is. And,
yes.
and the color of his eyes and the way he composes himself. But personally, no one will ever beat Stuart Townsend for me.
Oh,
Which I showed Garrett, Queen of the Damned, finally.
Oh, you did? Do you like it?
He fucking loved it.
Of course he did.
He fucking loved it because him and I like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, and Stuart Townsend plays Dorian Gray in that movie.
Yeah.
So he fucking loved Dorian Gray. I was like, okay, Dorian Gray's in this movie. I was like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So when Lestat first comes out and he's like, oh.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm sexually confused by him and Jesse. And I'm like, yeah. And then Jesse walks out in like the plaid dress and like the thigh.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was like, yeah. Garrick is like getting into his spooky roots, which I love because it's like our couple thing.
23.
At 24, because that makes me 20, because then that makes me 24. Anyways, he's getting into his spooky roots, and what I love is like now all the things that he's into. What?
Nothing.
Well, fuck off. The things that he's into. It's just funny seeing him because we went to Knott's Berry Farm for their Halloween haunt thing, right? And the lovely Ash Costello was playing with the Haxons, and I didn't even know because shout out to Vincent, his friend that works there. As I think he's like, I forget what his character's name is. He was like, "Do you like New Year's Day?" And I was like, Garrick didn't catch it. I was like, wait, are you talking about the band? He goes, yeah, Ash Costello's here. I was like, fucking where? Where is she? Because I've met her. I fucking love her, but I met her when I looked like a little scene chubby girl, and I was so embarrassed. I hate looking back at the picture.
I met her at Monsterpalooza like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, she's really cool. So him and I sat down and waited to watch her, and it was like not a lot of people, so it was nice just getting a little show by her and stuff. And she came out singing Dead Man's Party, and I was like, yeah. And like he was like, wow, she's so hot. I was like, yeah, no shit, she's so hot. And she like came over by us and she like winked and smiled at me. And I was like, ha. And he's like, she winked at me. I was like, motherfucker, no, she didn't. She was looking at me. So yeah, he's getting into his spooky roots, but
That's hilarious.
so yeah, that would be your favorite Halloween scene. I don't, you know, I'd have to say one of my favorite ones would have to be from 2. And that's when he comes up from behind the nurse and sticks the scalpel behind her back.
Yes.
Because he was lifting himself down from the thing.
Yeah.
And fucking just lifts her up and her fucking feet just shake to the point where they die.
By the way, speaking of which, you know the game Dead by Daylight?
They have Michael.
Yeah. They have all of they have everybody.
So
they have Leatherface.
So when are we all playing?
I have it on PlayStation.
I have it too.
I'm down to play.
Yeah, I have it too. So they have Ghostface, they have Leatherface, they have Jason, they have Freddy, they have Michael, they have everybody.
Ghostface.
I have to.
I already said Ghostface.
I listened to my.
Do the program. All right, that tracks.
I listened to this one gamer chick that does like ASMR lore videos where she just talks.
Hate it.
I like that low voice like puts me to sleep.
I hate it with a passion, dude.
I don't know why you don't like it because that soothes so many of my ADHD symptoms.
I hate it. I hate it so much.
I get why you don't like it.
It's because I also have like OCD with like people noises. Like if I hear too much like people noises that aren't mine, it's just like, ugh, I hate it. It's like nails on a chalkboard for me. Hate it.
So she does the lore videos, and I just wanted to know because DJ had messaged me and he was like, "Are you guys down to stream it if we all get together and do it?" That was months ago, and I never heard back. But I was like, "Yeah, sure. Let me actually check it out."
Dead by Daylight?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's like level 300, 400 something in Dead by Daylight. Like he plays it with his friends a lot.
all right.
So we're playing on our own, so he doesn't slaughter us.
Yeah.
I played with him and his friends one time, and I got fucked.
So
I think I played that game once.
I was listening to the lore videos, and I really like how they've tied in this whole thing with the entity and all this stuff. Like it was pretty cool. So it's a really interesting thing. But I was watching one of the other Halloweens with Garrick, and that move where he comes up behind people like that.
Yeah.
I don't think Garrick remembered Michael doing it from the second one because we were watching Resurrection just for the fuck of it.
Jesus.
I'll never get over how the fact that was just a movie of its time because that was the kind of shit that was going on at that time.
And plus, legitimately, Curtis was talking about H2O. She's like, yeah, that movie was garbage.
No,
she like it was so
have
bad.
you ever actually watched the recent interview about that? Mm-mm. She said I was only allowed to do H2O if I signed up for Resurrection.
Really?
Yeah, she was not allowed to say yes to H2O unless she signed up for Resurrection.
She mentioned that in the podcast I sent you guys.
No shit.
The definitive.
So Resurrection was no way out. She had no way out of doing that. And you know what's funny? No one ever blames her. She even says, I fucking did it for money. I don't give a shit. But this new rendition, this new one, she puts her heart into that one, which I like. So we were watching Resurrection, and it's that beginning scene when he breaks into the asylum to kill Lori, and that one psychotic dude who recites serial killers information and stuff. He's talking, and like Michael's about to kill the security guards, and Michael just like lowers himself.
Yeah.
And Garrick's like, I don't like that. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Why don't you like that? He goes, I don't like that. I don't think that's a Michael thing. It's just too predatory.
Too predatory. Yeah. After watching the series for like a month.
And I sat there. I had a moment. I was like, I've made a monster. Because then he critiques me.
But here's the funny part: is like he's critiquing like iconic scenes. Like, oh, Slayer roll, dude. Hold on. It's like, hang on.
I know. I'm like, you don't understand. That's an essential thing with him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
It was in the podcast that I was listening to. It was funny because they saw that moment and they were joking around. They're like, "That's really cool. That's an iconic moment. Who taught Michael how to do a pull-up?" they were just joking around. They're just like, "Hey, you see the serial killer is a 6'5", 400-pound serial killer? Don't give him weights.
You know what's funny?
Don't teach him how to do a pull-up. You don't need to do that."
It's funny because you sit there and think about it. I always laugh because when I read because I have the original paperback of Halloween.
Four greats: Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, Michael Phelps, Michael Myers.
No. So I was reading the paperback, and it talks about, you know, the original lore about Judith and how she used to talk about him and stuff. And I'm like, wouldn't it just be hilarious if he was just a fucking like, of course, psychotic and still a killer, but just a really self-aware 6-year-old that was like, I'm not going to talk ever again just to fuck with them. And 2, when they're not looking, I'm just going to work on my fucking my body and get myself all jacked up. Like, can you just imagine at fucking Smith's Grove when no one's looking and like he just puts a paper over his like window and everything, and he's just like, I gotta lift weights, no one can fucking see me do that shit.
And he's like benching his bed.
I was gonna say it's like an Office cut where they go look in the window. He's not doing anything. They look again. He's just curling his bed. He's just like, let's go.
When you think about it too, I think about the time like when he first breaks out of the asylum at the beginning of the movie, because there's a deleted scene where it shows the aftermath of what happens.
Yeah.
Because Donald Pleasance goes to the asylum and he's like, so what the fuck happened? Yeah. And the nurse was like, I don't know. He got out and he just started getting everyone else out of bed. He literally started getting people out of bed to make them go outside. And like, we all know it was for distraction.
Of course,
but,
yeah.
Like, you're sitting there and I'm like, you let this motherfucker just get everyone out of bed?
Yeah,
and like,
right.
You're also sitting there thinking
You're sitting there with Michael Myers, just be like, damn, that's crazy. And you just keep going back to what you were doing.
I mean, let's be honest. If you see Michael walking around being like, get up.
Well, no.
You're just like,
hey, man.
That's completely right, because also in the original book, it talks about how he was at the asylum, Smith's Grove. Like, kids would be mean to him. That fucking kid would have some injury by the end of the week. No one would know how. If a nurse was mean to him, somehow she ended up falling down some fucking stairs. You know, shit like that. So you sit there and you think of all the interesting things that possibly could have happened, but how funny it is for this fucking 21-year-old man after waiting for 15 years. He got up and he's like, October 30th already? Shit. Gets out of bed, just fucking dusts himself off, and he's like, everyone get the fuck out of this asylum.
The first recorded
Just everyone get the fuck out of this asylum.
No shit.
I'm going to check it out right now. I'll let you know.
Wow.
Fuck that happened.
That was Jan's first defense, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
Damn, I'm 2 for 7. 2 for 6.
Yeah, so it was just like
4 for 6.
throwing people out of bed. Honestly, had I been in that mental hospital, I would have locked my door and said, go fuck yourself. I'm sleeping for another 20 minutes, and I'm not going out in that Halloween rain.
Can I throw something at both of you that might piss both of you off a lot?
You fuckers always try to piss me off.
This is the first time I've gotten a warning beforehand.
Garrett, come here, sit down. Just for a second. I'm gonna throw something you guys' way. Just
sit down next to me.
Just because it's Blumhouse, just because it is,
or me,
it is tropes.
Fuck
and
off.
Because it is, because it's Blumhouse, and because they probably might do something like this, just, you know, against all better judgment. So the next one is supposed to be the last one ever, correct?
Yes.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, but I
the
think
camera.
they're going to fuck us over.
Nikki,
Allegedly.
scoot over.
What if, before the ending of somehow they give Michael a one-liner?
You know what? Somebody was fucking saying that. I'm letting you know now, if you fucking do that, I swear to God, I'll find you.
Like if they have him speak, like just say like half a sentence.
Bro, his vocal cords probably aren't even working anymore.
What if we just hear a raspy Happy Halloween?
That's exactly what I thought of.
No. You know what it's going to be? Trick or treat.
Trick
It's
or
not
treat,
gonna be
yeah.
Happy Halloween. It's
That
gonna be trick or
actually
treat.
that would make sense if since he still has the mind of a 6-year-old. Trick or treat would be the most relevant
Trick or treat,
thing on his
or if he just says Happy Halloween, Lori, or something.
You know what would fuck me up even more? If he just made like a tiny smile after fucking killing Lori.
that'd be true.
Just fucking kills Lori, and he's just like.
That wasn't like immediately.
And then he gets beheaded by the granddaughter.
But like, you know what's funny? I think they're gonna do it like that. If they do decide to kill him off, I think they're gonna take his head off. Because remember, that's what failed the first time. Because
the dipshit was like, he's a human man, and then he fucking moved the gun, and then he didn't shoot him in the head.
Isn't that what they did?
Could have been over in the 70s, but all of a sudden,
we didn't even get to tell you about the stupidest fucking kill of that movie. Okay, So the
Wait, let me hear this because I liked a lot of the
Okay,
kills.
so the firefighter kills were probably the best one, but the one that
That
kills,
goes that whole scene goes hard.
but the one that kills me and Garrick the
It
most,
pisses me off.
the one that pisses us off the most was the fucking bitch ass nurse who doesn't know how to properly hold a gun and should have probably given it to somebody who wasn't stupid as shit.
No, she was a doctor.
She
I
was
don't-
no,
I-
no,
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 she
that's
was
right.
dressed as
She
a
was
nurse,
the
but
nurse
she was a
and he was the
doctor.
doc. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
but wait,
hold
let
on,
me
hold on,
let me say
finish what I'm saying. Let me finish what I'm saying. So, Serge, this bitch goes up to the this bitch.
No,
Michael's
she's 100% right.
Michael's killing a whole bunch of people in a car, and he's in the front driver's seat, right? So
No, he's not in the driver's seat.
he is in the driver's seat.
He is.
He is.
Okay.
So he's in the driver's seat, and this fucking bitch goes
guess I
up
didn't
to
watch
the
the movie.
door. No, he's in the driver's seat.
I don't think he got in the car.
He did. He got in the car to
That's how-
strangle the nurse, and then he looked in the back seat, stabbed the new nurse, the black guy. Then he got out and he kicked the car door into the doctor.
Cool. So he wasn't in the car when he killed her. Got
No,
it.
he was in the car.
Anyways, yeah, he kicked her he kicked the door, and her.
He literally goes, and she goes, "Took," and shoots herself in the head.
Yeah, because she's holding the gun out fully extended.
So pissed
He
off.
kicks the car door, hits her hand. She goes, "Whoa!" Shoots it.
Shoots herself with a 50 cal. I was like,
That was my favorite kill of the movie. I thought that was hilarious.
it annoyed me to know.
That sounds horrible.
It was fucking okay. Let me explain why I liked it. I love the fact that they're finally branching out in different types of kills. The only reason that I liked some like horror movies like Saw and let me finish. Let me
Halloween's
finish.
supposed to be the practical one.
Let me finish. I like it because I love seeing different ways for this type of thing to happen, especially for Michael. The reason I don't like a lot of serial killer shit is because, like, especially horror movies, is because it's always the same pattern. It's cool when it's a throwback, but then again, I get bored. So I'm just like, oh, this is the same shit. He's stabbing him again, da-da-da. It's understandable. It works. It's a classic. But when I see new creative shit, like seeing him just literally thinking it out, Michael going, if I kick this door, if I hit her hand, she doesn't know how to handle a gun. She's going to kill herself. That does it. I'm like, oh, it was so fluid. It was so, and it's
it was
different.
smooth.
You
was
don't
smooth as
see it in
fuck.
other horror movies. It was smooth as shit.
It's irritating on her end. That's what it is. On his end, fucking amazing.
But at the same time, though, this is supposed to be like the semi-realistic franchise.
That's realistic. Fuck. She doesn't know how to use a gun.
Kicking someone's hand and they shoot themselves in the head.
No, she kicked the door when she was close, which moved up her entire hand.
Garrick's face.
Well, you
Hey,
know
let
what?
him. He's not in frame.
Well, you know what was even funnier is that she's just, like, you're standing there and you're watching her walk up.
That would never happen
with-
in real life.
And it's just like literally just fucking holding it like this, just standing there like that, and you're standing there like, who the fuck taught you how to hold a gun?
The worst part was she took the gun
yeah, but
from...
she would never shoot herself.
But she took. Let me listen. She took the gun from her husband, saying, "Here, listen, honey. You don't know how to use a fucking gun. Give me the gun. I know how to use the gun." Fires 5 of her 6 shots.
infuriating.
Misses everything.
She just shoots clockwise.
She made a silhouette of him.
She made a Looney Tunes
Wow.
silhouette.
Wow.
So pressed.
Took the chat. That's insane. I think the biggest thing for me is like, because Halloween's supposed to be semi-realistic, in a way, if you were hypothetically kicking somebody's hand holding a gun, there is no physical way for them to shoot themselves in the head. It's impractical.
She doesn't know how to use a gun.
That doesn't mean shit.
Michael's strong as fuck.
That doesn't mean shit either.
Bro, if a car door hits your hand right here,
You would
hard
shoot it,
enough.
You would shoot it immediately, not all the way back here. You would shoot it right away. You wouldn't shoot it back here.
Dunk.
That doesn't make sense. Because
I need to rewatch the scene.
Think about it.
I need to rewatch the scene. What?
Have you shot a gun before?
Yes.
When?
I'm gonna watch this after.
Absolutely.
And you assume that you're gonna wait until you're like, wait. Okay, now.
I'm also
Because-
taking
hold
into
on,
account
wait,
the fact
Gabe,
that she
think
is
about
so
it.
scared in the situation
It doesn't
that
ma- it
she's
doesn't
going to be waiting to pull the trigger.
But okay. So with the argument,
Damn, so she got
with
a
that
dumb
argument,
as fuck like fighter
Well, hold on.
fighter.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, no. In that, no,
Yeah, I'm saying she's the
it's
problem.
Absolutely her. But with that logic, technically speaking, because Michael kicks the door, the impact of the door against her hand will make her discharge the gun.
No, she was holding it right here. The top of the door hits her
Sir,
forearm.
she was holding it wrong with.
That's what I mean, though. Well, that's what I mean. So when the gun hits her forearm, that's when she was shooting.
This way. It doesn't even go up. She goes like this. She shoots it sideways.
Well, point being, when the door impacts your hand, that's when it should have gone off.
Either way, I don't care about the technicalities anymore.
Yeah.
Basically.
Sorry, shit like that bugs me. It bugs me so much.
I get it. But moving on.
It was so creative as fuck on Michael's part. I'm standing by that.
But
That's the only reason I like it.
Add to that. I'm going to add to that because I think when you put it in that perspective, it was great. Because again, sometimes I need a different perspective when it comes to Halloween because I don't catch things. That makes it even better because I think everybody fucking forgets, and just like what's his name said it, he is a 6-year-old boy with the mind of a fucking killer and with the mind of an animal and the body of a man. So that just solidified the fact that that man is a goddamn apex predator.
Yeah,
because most of us wouldn't have even seen her coming up to us.
Yeah.
On the side. Had I been in that position, I wouldn't have even, I probably would have decked her ass before I hit her with the goddamn window and I would have tried to get the gun out of her hand.
Yeah.
No, he sees her in his sight and he probably noticed her in his,
his peripheral somehow. Yeah.
And he was just like, think. And I was like,
also, I gotta say props to Michael because I've worn a lot of replica Michael Myers masks. Props to him for doing what he does in that goddamn mask, okay? Because that shit is not easy.
The fact that he could see anything is a magical thing.
Thank
Good job.
you.
Congratulations, Mr. Myers.
Okay, so you know what I also noticed? The Michael mantle has been officially passed to James Jude Courtney because Nick Castle's name was not on the credits for Michael. So
really,
so this movie was all James Jude Courtney.
He was in it. He was actually in it in a couple scenes.
And let me what?
Yeah, like the firefighter, like the firehouse scene.
Oh,
like he was
Well,
only in it in stills. Like he wasn't like a lot of trailer stuff. All the trailer stuff was Nick Castle.
Thank you for telling me that.
Interesting.
I thought that because usually they'll credit him.
Yeah.
So I am so happy that this man is Michael Myers. Finally.
Also, can I just say that Nick Castle to this day is still so terrifying because he's so tall, dude.
I've met him. He's the sweetest little old man now.
I know, but he's still he's massive.
Okay, so I really should post it on the Nerding Out account because it's just me.
Post today.
Yeah, I gotta post it.
Post today.
Just in honor of.
Post it right now. You won't.
I'll find it. Dude, he was the sweetest old man because they asked, you go and you buy your picture and you're like, oh, they ask you, what do you want to write on? And I was like, oh, my name's Nikki. He was like, oh, nice. I was like, yeah, I know, Nikki. And it's funny because when you see the picture, of me and Nick Castle, I just look like his really happy granddaughter, just happy to be there. And I was just so nervous to talk to him. I didn't because I don't like being one of those people that's like, what was it like?
Yeah.
Motherfucker, I know what it's like.
Yeah.
It was an entire summer of breathing in a hot mask.
Breathing in a mask and a jumpsuit.
That's literally what he wants to say to people, but he's not going to say that to people.
It's like walking menacingly in a mask and a jumpsuit.
But I was just like, thank you for taking your time to do this. And I really appreciate that. And, thank you for signing all of this. And, I forgot what I asked him one thing and I forgot what it was. And he was telling me something about the mask or something. Oh, I think I took my mask. And yeah. And I didn't get a chance to pull it out for him to sign it. But I was like, yeah, I brought my mask and everything. He goes, oh, you're a real fan. I was like, I'm here alone.
I'm here alone.
Yeah.
The way you said that.
That's so real.
The way you said that. I'm here alone.
Because this was the H40 convention. This was the one where Monsterpalooza was actually at.
Yep.
And this was all Michael Myers. It was after the new movie came out, and you guys were busy. Hi, Ashley.
So that's a spammer.
Oh,
they're
really?
they're in all the chats. Do you see all those? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, super lame.
I don't do any of this. And I asked my dad. I was like, "Hey, do you guys want to go or something like that?" And he was like, "No, I'm working." And my mom was like, "I can't." And you guys were all busy. Everyone was busy.
I had to work too that day.
And I was like, "I guess."
Because wasn't it on a Thursday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was the only one that didn't have work at that time. And so my dad was like, here's money. You're going by yourself. And I was like, I could just not go though. And he was like, no, you're going by yourself. And I was like, he goes, you're never going to get an opportunity like this. And I was like, fucking fine. And you know what's funny? Now I remember I didn't bring my mask because I was so freaked out about taking it on the bus.
That's right.
He was like, you're not taking that on the bus. I was like, no. But no, it was a really cool time. I've met almost every Michael Myers now. I've met a lot of people. Like, you know who one of the coolest Michael Myers besides Nick is? Dick Warlock.
I believe it.
Dick Warlock, him, and I forget what his name is, but the guy who plays Bob in the original movie, the funniest and sweetest dudes that I think I've ever met. Because like it's really intimidating to be like that one chick that's just wandering around a convention by herself, especially a Halloween convention with people looking at you. Yeah. I spent like 30 minutes at the Trick or Treat Studios tent talking to the main guy who made the new mask and everything, who made the flashback mask. He does all of it. And I was asking him like, he
By the
was
way, shout out Trick or Treat Studios. They make amazing
shout out
content.
to Trick or Treat Studios.
I'm a huge fan of Nightbreed, that movie, and I actually have a replica Dr. Decker mask, and it's like it's my favorite mask. It's amazing.
The only other thing that ever terrified me besides Michael as a child was Dr. Decker. And it was funny because I didn't know about that. There was a scene from Nightbreed that, because I hadn't watched, my mom showed me Nightbreed when I was really young, like once, and we had the tape of it.
Yeah, Clive Barker's Nightbreed is a fantastic film if you guys have not seen
And
it.
that scene where he's in that family's house about to murder them.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And he puts it on. Yeah.
Okay. So that scene has been ingrained in my child mind since I was a kid, and I couldn't remember where it was from because I can't remember his face. I couldn't remember his face.
Cronenberg? David Cronenberg?
Yeah. So Dr. Decker. So you and I were talking about Nightbreed one day, and I was like, oh, let me go watch it. Because I was like, oh, yeah, I've seen Nightbreed, blah, blah, blah. And for years, I had been trying to find whatever scene was going on in my head that would scare
the I Have Become Death scene, right? Yeah.
Yes. So I had been trying to figure out for years what that scene was because I kept thinking it was another movie, because there is a movie that is so similar to Halloween that people will get freaked out watching it. I'll show you the clips of it and stuff. Okay. Very similar. So I thought it was that because it had that creepy feeling that Halloween gave me. I fucking sat down and watched Nightbreed and I was like, holy shit!
Yeah, no, seriously. David Cronenberg's performance as Dr. Decker in that film is fantastic. It's such, and plus I love the way that he kind of just has that giant ass knife and the mask in the briefcase. He walks around like in a suit and a trench coat, but then he puts the mask on and it's like, holy shit, dude.
It's like a even worse like Patrick Bateman.
So bad. It's and plus that mask specifically, in my opinion, is the scariest. Sorry, it is the scariest mask in all of cinema.
No,
without
you know
a doubt.
What's funny?
It's terrifying.
Dr. Decker's mask has to be a runner-up for Halloween for me, just because Halloween was the first, and that was the most terrifying thing. Yeah. But Dr. Decker was insane, and Trick or Treat Studios does an amazing job at replicating masks.
100%.
Because
also their leather face masks, fantastic.
I've never seen another studio until now come out with both variations for the H2O masks. They have both variations. The shitty one, because remember they used the original 6 one at the beginning. Yeah. They used a weird CGI one, and then they used the stupid looking one that was for H2O. Yeah. So there's 3 masks in that movie, and they license them all, and they sell all of them. But they are the nicest people to talk to. The guy who runs everything, God, I'm so bad with names. I'm so sorry. But I talked to him for like 30 minutes. I asked him like, how do I clean my masks? Do I have to clean them? Do I have to do this? And he's like, how many do you have? I go, 4. I go, and at the time the new one was coming out and I had just pre-ordered it, but we didn't know what they looked like. But my dad still did the pre-orders because it's Halloween. Yeah. And so he goes, do you want to see something that you can't tell anyone? I was like, yeah, I want to see something, but I'm not going to tell anyone. Yeah. He was like, here's the new mask. And I got to see the fucking Halloween mask before anyone else did in 2018. I saw it before all of you.
Flex.
No, here's the thing. I even told my dad when this new movie came out, I was like, fucking everyone's a Michael Myers fan all of a fucking sudden. But God forbid I wear a shirt in 5th grade and fucking get bullied for an entire day for wearing one Michael Myers shirt. I've paid my dues so I can keep all I want.
I mean, I got dress code at Arcadia for wearing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre shirt because it said because it said massacre on it.
Bro, they fucking Oh, I can't tell you. Arcadia High School, go fuck yourself.
Facts. Big facts.
Go fuck yourself.
Big
I'm an
facts.
alumni. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, same.
I graduated, so I can say that. No, they dress coded me so many times.
For everything.
You know what's so funny? All those girls got like it was funny because I've always been like thicker. I've always been a thick girl, so I always knew that teachers judged me more. So like I wore like a Michael Myers like t-shirt with like a cute little skirt one day. Mm-hmm. I got dress coded so hard.
Yeah.
I had to go home. My mom had to come. She was pissed. She was like, "Why?" It was a short skirt, but at the same time, it was one of my Rob Zombie Michael Myers shirts, so it had stuff on it. But at the same time, people were walking around with like, fucking drug shirts.
That was my biggest thing.
I had a fucking 40 ounce to freedom Sublime shirt. Didn't bat an eye. But the one day that I wear a short skirt and a Michael Myers t-shirt, I get yelled at.
Or like people like those super like chunty ass rap t-shirts with like the girls with the tattoos of their ass hanging out with like bags of cocaine all over.
Oh yeah.
No.
And those were fine. But God forbid I wear a Black Layer Murder shirt to school one day and I get dress coded so hard.
And it's like you don't want to sit there and sound like that typical like emo kid that was like, I wear black so they pick on me.
But it's true.
No, it's fucking true, dude. I went to First Avenue Middle School in Arcadia, California, and I don't care if I fucking say their name because I hate everyone there. I only had a handful of teachers that were really cool, and one of them, his name was Mr. Gunn. Shout out to Mr. Gunn because Mr. Gunn taught me about the Misfits, and he taught me. He just like enhanced everything that I like. He thought it was really cool that I liked Michael Myers. Never had an issue. I had these two lady teachers that like anytime I tried to wear anything like grungy or anything like I had a black skirt, like black tights, they were like, no. But yet some bitch walked in with like Hollister. Remember when Hollister first started and they like had like shorts that were like here up to their crotch?
Those never went away, dude. Those are still around.
So those never away like, and I wear shorts like that now, but it's like at the time you're like, no, I made a huge stink of it. I made a scene in class. I was like, so I get to walk in. I can't walk in here with a horror t-shirt, but she gets to walk in like a whore. I've been saving that since I was 13. Sorry.
That's funny.
No, but that's hilarious. I think it's hilarious how many times I got dress coded for certain shit. But I don't know.
Halloween masks. Well, just masks in general.
Just masks in general.
And
but
trick-or-treat studios.
Oh, yeah. And I could never, every time I tried to do like Halloween stuff, like I could never bring my stuff with me. Like you can't, like I remember doing, I wanted to wear my jumpsuit with just like the clown Michael Myers mask on top. And I went and they were like I forgot what I got in trouble for. Oh, it's because I had blood all over me. Blood all over me. Yeah, that'll do it. They're like, we said no blood.
It's like, no, you didn't.
I was like, well, I can't take all of this off now.
But also that, like, the only thing that I love more than the trick-or-treat replicas mask, if it was possible, is I want someone to make like an actual burlap Decker mask. That would be the ultimate. But the close second is the Trick-or-Treat Studios mask.
Honestly, I would be down to even try to help you do that because I love doing shit like
dude,
that. Like I just spent 30 minutes this morning because Garrick is obviously going to be Michael tomorrow because we are going to be taking pictures in front of the Myers house in Pasadena. So for our SDM fans, if you want to hang out, catch us there.
Come through.
Probably be there like after 5 running around with everybody else. Garrick will be in Halloween H6 mask. So
yeah, like to me, if Grim Stitch Factory made
oh my god
a Decker mask, I would die.
Shout out to Grim Stitch Factory
they make
because
the best masks,
the best scarecrow masks that I have ever seen.
They're so freaking creepy.
It was funny because when Serge and I first started hanging out and like getting to know each other, when it like him and I are the only people that can like really talk about horror, and then
masks,
and then Gibby came along.
Yeah,
and it's just the three of us now.
Well, because the first thing we started talking about was we both collect masks. Like we like because she collects Halloween masks. I just collect horror movie masks in general. Like I have multiple Texas Chainsaw. Yeah, literally, it was like, "Want to see my masks?" He's like, "You collect masks?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I have a couple of these leather ones. I forgot the name of the guy who made these, but he's fantastic.
Is that the one off of Etsy?
No. So this guy actually has a website. I believe it's called something Nightmare Factory. But he what he does is he makes leather masks, but he makes stop motion leather figures because he takes pictures and makes it a comic book series. So he has a comic book series he basically makes the characters out of leather, takes pictures of them, and puts them in a comic book. It's amazing. I don't know what the guy's name is, and I'm so sorry, but
I fucking you've told me before and we've talked about it. I
have like 4 or 5 of his masks. I have 2 Texas Chainsaw Massacre masks. I have Dr. Decker's mask. I have other various, horror movie themed and scarecrow masks, and I have a replica mask of. Have you ever seen that movie Overkill?
Yes.
You have?
I've heard of it.
The helmet that the guy wears in the movie.
I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah, well, I have a replica of that mask as well. So
I asked Garrick.
I just collect masks I like.
I asked Garrick when we move in together because I have
a couple of hockey masks
I have so much Michael Myers memorabilia. We planned to do this in my room, but we've just got so much stuff going on that I wanted to show everybody. But
sorry, Rampage, not Overkill. Rampage.
Wait.
It was a movie. It was a movie came out not the movie with The Rock. There was a movie called Rampage where it was like this guy who gets stuck in a building and he has to shoot his way out of the building.
Yes,
and it's like a 2-hour bloodbath. It's really good. Sorry.
Gotta love that. No, I asked him. I was like, so do I get to take the masks with me? Because there's gonna be a lot. I'm just leaving my stuff in my room and my brother's taking over my room basically. But I was like, so I get to take my banner? And he was like, we'll talk about it. I was like, the cutout? We'll talk about it. What about the masks? We'll talk about it. I was like, fuck. What's my house supposed to look like then? I had so many plans.
You brought this up also in front of me and Justin. We're just like, not a living space. It's like, not a living room. It's like, we're not all down like that.
So I had a plan, and there's this one chick that we follow on Instagram.
Put the mask there. Nothing's in that corner.
Well, let me bring.
We're talking about when we all move out together.
As it is, I have to take this home when I leave this weekend because they're so freaked out about it.
It's more just annoying because I'll turn a corner and be like, that's Michael. It's either I'm scared or it's like, and there's Michael. Okay, cool.
That's Michael.
That's Michael.
I made myself laugh last night because I used to sleep with the TV on, but I've been trying not to so I can sleep better. But you've all seen my room, so that's pretty horrifying to sleep in. And I usually don't mind, but it's Halloween.
I keep all my masks in the closet. I'm not trying to look at those every day, dude.
Well, I have a mask case, a really nice clear one that somebody got for me, so I can't not display them. I'm also really proud.
I keep them on busts in my closet.
I've got one of those Mother Mary fucking candles of him. I've got everything. I've got a banner above my TV. There's no escaping it, but that's just all my collection. So I was coming back from the bathroom, and my bathroom's connected to my bedroom. And I was coming out, and I turned over because I was expecting not to see the mask, that I forgot that I put the other one that's usually out in there, so it's all full. And I scared the shit out of myself. I did a double take. I was like, are you supposed to be in there? I took edibles last night. Don't even quote me. So that's why I was like, where's the other one? I was like, oh shit. Because I've always said if Michael Myers were real, I'd be fucked. Because you know how he'd kill me is he'd come for his mask and I'd just be walking around doing my regular thing, and then I'd notice one was gone and then he'd jump out at me.
Yeah.
Like if I'm gonna die, let me die that way.
Can you imagine how meta that would be if that was a real kill?
Can you imagine
how meta that would be?
Can somebody just film that happening to me, please? Can we just do this? Because
I mean, to be fair, we could film a fan film, a Halloween fan film.
Just fucking have me coming in, just regularly doing my shit, and just doesn't even notice that my mask is missing. And that's always been my fear. That has always been my fucking fear.
Like instead of Hell Comes to Haddonfield, Hell Comes to Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
I'd be so scared.
I never got to say, when she first brought it here, because this was in the corner right there on the stairs. Yeah. So I'm streaming and I walk out and I'm texting and I look up and I was like, huh, what the fuck? I look at it for a second and then that's when I knock on their door and I was like, fuck you guys. So I go back in my room.
I heard was, God damn it, Nikki. And I was like, that sounds familiar.
I go back in my room. I'm chilling for a bit. I go to the restroom. I hear Nikki go, fuck, he got me.
Because I wasn't paying attention and I looked back as I was walking down the stairs, and then I looked, because in my mind I'm like, okay, he's down there. Because this is something that I always have to do walking in and out of my room. Because I'm like, okay, you have to remember, because I moved my masks. So when you open the door, they're right there because I had to move stuff around. Yeah. And I'm making room for another one that's going to be right where that one was. So I walked in and I was like, oh, shit. you're still there. And at the same time, I was like, good, you're still there. So I was walking down the stairs, I was like, just remember he's right there. And then I saw his head and I was like, fuck.
Finally, I came out of my room. I came down to get some food, but someone had moved the Michael cutout. Yeah. So I literally just stood there at the top of the stairs and I was like, I called Garrick, and him and Nikki had just went outside, so they came back in and they're like, what's wrong? We just left. I was like, where the fuck did Michael go? They were like, Garrick was like, oh, I moved it in the back corner. I was like, thank God. Because I just thought to myself, if this Michael cardboard cutout moved on its fucking own, I'm moving out of the house.
Bro, I almost threw hands in the bathroom because they put it in the bathroom.
I know.
And so my phone was down, and Gabe and Garrick on the couch. I was like, yo, fool. I was like, I did that. And they were like, ah!
Before you came over, I was looking for him because I wanted to look at something. And I was like,
he moves on his own if anybody doesn't know.
I was like, what the fuck did you do with him? Because I said, if anybody breaks him, they're paying the $30 to get him replaced. Because it was this was $30. Fucking cardboard.
You slapped the shit out of the cardboard.
Fucking $30.
$30.
Fucking piece of shit.
Do you know how much I spent at Halloween City that day? I spent like $60 trying to get this and some blood. Anyways, so it's funny because when you guys talk about him scaring the shit out of me, so no one really knows this because this was just a thing when I was a kid. So the reason it started, the obsession, was because I used to watch horror movies with my mom. And my dad would put that on when he was babysitting me because I was a little shit and didn't want to hang out with him. I would just be like, I don't have time for you and I don't want to hang out with you. So if you put Halloween on or Gone with the Wind, I'd fall asleep. Understandable. But when I hit around 5 years old, there was a time, and psychologically this is just because your child mind is developing into something and you understand things more. And I know that now. There was a time from about 5 to 8 where I was absolutely terrified of him. Like, I'm not even joking. And when it first started, my dad was so nice enough to bring me this like tiny Michael Myers doll. Like it was one of those action figures, like one of the first original ones that they came out with. Yeah. He came home and he was like so happy he got it for me. He was like, look. I was like, get that fucking thing away from me. I bolted to my room and barricaded my door with the fucking Crayola desk that I had in there. I was like,
that's hilarious.
I barricaded my door. I was like, you get that thing and you fucking burn it.
That's funny.
So my dad collects all these other like G.I. Joe. So we have like fucking, again, I have memorabilia all in my basement. So fucking it's packed away tight in one of those fucking G.I. Joe boxes because I was so fucking freaked. And then as I got older, it started to get easier. But I went through a time where I was fucking terrified of him.
I believe it.
Like, I could not talk about him until Halloween came around because I was so fucking freaked of him. So there was a time.
And here we are.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
On that note, do we want to continue or do you want to call it here?
We're at an hour and a half already.
Yeah, we're at an hour and a half. But I think we talked about a lot.
We did talk about a lot. We covered a lot of ground.
But we are back.
Do you want to bring up, Gibby?
Scream 5 and Jeepers Creepers 3.
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers. Garrick will never watch it.
The trailer came out, the teaser trailer, like the 20-second one, came out like 2 days ago.
Wait, no, so it's not Jeepers Creepers 3 because remember there is a third one.
Yeah,
it's Reborn.
It's a new Jeepers Creepers movie, which I can't wait to see with this level of CGI.
Who's directing it?
No clue. I just saw the teaser.
Hopefully not the pedophile director.
Piece of shit, Victor Salva. Fuck you, Victor Salva. Timo Valenzuela. Don't know who that is.
What has he done?
Valenzuela, sorry.
So you're Ghostface. What are you today?
Well, I'm going as Glenn Close from Dungeons and Daddies. So.
Am I the only one that spent $50 on their costume?
No,
absolutely.
I'm AC Slater.
Oh yeah, you're AC Slater. But no, it was funny because I feel like I'm the only one who Garrick bought his jumpsuit, but still, I got this off of my Jennifer Check costume off of Doll's Kill, and now everyone has it on fucking TikTok.
This guy's done only low budget, homegrown movies.
Yeah,
as long as it's not the pedophile director from the previous one.
He did Iron Sky 1, 2, and 3, and now he's doing the new Jeepers Creepers movies. So.
He did like all the Star Rex, which I'm guessing is like a spoof.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'll still watch it.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna see it in theaters.
We're gonna go see it. I want to see what happens.
But let's talk about Scream 5. Gabby, this is all you, dude.
Put a timer for about 10 minutes and then we'll stop the podcast.
Hold on. I'm Sydney Prescott. Of course I have a fucking gun. Oh my God.
I saw that and I was...
so
Wait, hold on,
happy.
wait.
I can't even tell you how happy I am for you.
Okay, ready. Gabe, ready, set, go.
Go.
It's so meta. It's just so meta. I'm so excited. I saw the trailer at first. Like, I remember when they were first announcing it, I was like, oh, sick, a Scream 5. And then as it kept on going on, I would forget because I love Scream. Look at me. I love Scream.
Look at me.
Look at me.
It's like, but after Scream 4, I was like, this is a good ending. I was okay with that being the ending because it was a good movie. It wasn't the best, but it wasn't like the worst possible movie like most of these horror franchises go.
It was better than 3.
It was anything's better than fucking 3. But the fact that in the trailer, it's just, they already sort of tease like how meta it's going to be, how it's going to be talking about a new era of serial killing and serial killers. And because that now we don't know what the fuck is going to happen. Because these serial killers, as far as we know from the trailer, they're not related to Sydney Prescott. Of course, it's going
to the people that have been killed.
Exactly. They're related to the family of those killed in the original first movie, which I can't wait to see. But then again, have you guys seen the preview?
Yeah, of course.
It's giving away at least 3 different kills.
Yeah.
3 different kills, but
Which means it's probably gonna be like 40.
so
Exactly.
The only see if that's an error. The only thing that I would blame it on, because you guys have to remember, this is the first Scream without Wes Craven.
Yes.
May he rest in please.
Please. May he please rest in peace.
Hey, that man deserves to rest peacefully. He gave us like 2 horror cinematic universes.
3.
3.
4
Thank you.
actually. Yeah.
3.
4.
Thank
Wait.
you.
I'm thinking Nightmare, Crow, and Scream.
Oh yeah.
So,
Were you not thinking Crow?
No, I was thinking of
So here's the thing. When I think about it, when you really want to put it in perspective, I love John Carpenter. There are things that I don't like he did let happen to his franchise because I think it was kind of a cop out, and I understand what he was trying to do with the anthology and everything. But I genuinely think that actually,
Hills Have Eyes.
Hills Have Eyes. The greatest horror director would probably have to be Wes Craven.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think there's like a curse on every 3rd sequel because all of them are trash in every one of our franchises. But there are only a handful of them. Yeah, no, Scream 3
what's
was
the 3rd in Chucky's franchise? Is that Seed?
I think it was
that's
Seed.
no. There's a Child's Play 3.
Oh yeah.
It's when what's the main kid's?
I don't fucking know.
Well, he goes to
Andy.
Andy goes to boot camp because he's an orphan now. Because remember,
Yeah.
So 1, 2, and 3 so 1 and 2 are still with the same kid that played the original Andy, and then it ages him up to where he's like 15, and they send him to military camp because he doesn't have a parent anymore. So it's just him being terrorized at military camp, and it's the same bullshit from the second one. It's still that same shitty bullshit, but 3s are always, like 3rd movies in every horror film franchise, terrible. My fucking slasher isn't even in his 3rd film. So you have to take it with a grain of salt when it isn't the original person dealing with it, which is why I've always trusted.
I would argue Saw 3 was very good though.
Saw 3 is the only one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Saw 3 is the only one.
But that's out of the
Stand for your shit. Saw 3 is good.
So that's out of the newer franchise. I don't think Saw can. Yeah, I agree.
Hold on.
No. That's out of the newer franchises. I'm talking about the older ones. I'm talking
Let's be
about,
honest.
geez,
Saw 1 started in what, 2004? So Saw 3 came out in
2002.
Yeah, I'm
2002?
talking about like
Well, I mean-
original slashers.
Yeah. Okay.
So when
90s.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah, because Saw was like, we're not doing that again.
so when you step away, when the big 3, Toby Hopper, John Carpenter, and Wes Craven step away from their masterpieces, that's where shit goes wrong. So if that's an error, I would think that would be the only reason why it was an error, because when you go back and you watch all the other promos from Scream, you can't get shit out of those trailers. You cannot get shit out of those trailers. The newest Halloween trailers, you can get fucking everything out of them. I fucking figured out that movie from the trailer.
Trailers and stuff, they're starting to bother me. I'm still going to watch them because I want to like get a feel for the movie. But like my friend who comes over, she hates trailers because she's a movie person. She's an actress. So for her, it's just she despises trailers. Like if I say like,
I didn't know that about her.
yeah, I told her, hey, we watched Dune, it was good. She was like, don't tell me anything else.
And
she was like, even
I
me
get
saying
that,
it was good
'cause it's getting
was a thing
worse.
for her because she was so paranoid. Like, I don't want to get a feel for the movie at all, which
No.
I understand it now because it sucks.
Oh yeah, no, I get it. It's so hard for me to like. I'm the type of person that likes I'll watch it anyways if I really like it, because when it comes to a lot of things, I'll just be like whatever. But I can't. Like the only one that I thought was a not giving away a lot trailer was My Hero, but that's a fucking anime trailer.
Exactly. Anime trailers are good, great.
Matt Osborne says Saw should have ended the trilogy. TBH. I agree, but I'm not mad at the other ones. I'm not mad at the other ones.
Matt,
Have you still seen Spiral?
That's
You haven't seen Spiral
Yes,
yet.
I have.
The newest one with Chris Rock?
Oh no, I'm thinking,
Oh,
I'm
that
thinking
was
of Jigsaw.
good. You and I saw that. So Spiral
That's a
is
good
great. Matt, if you have not seen Spiral, give Spiral a chance because Spiral was awesome.
I
but
also even enjoyed
I agree
Jigsaw.
with you. They should probably end a lot of things after the first or second sequel.
But
Yeah.
but you know, in that same vein, I love Saw 5. I love Saw 4.
oh, what's the so my favorite Saw will always be May He Rest in Peace Chester Bennington Saw. Which one?
that
is
was
that?
5.
Four.
Okay, so
That was
5.
4.
So
Oh no, 4.
Four.
Yeah, it was
so
4.
4 is possibly one of my favorites because that trap is my favorite trap.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
I'm going to be honest. The only reason I like Saw is because, like I said before with Michael's car door kick, I love creativity.
Yeah.
And Saw franchise is like brimming with creativity, even though it's like,
Because
it's extreme
I'm
gore.
okay with
It's
it there
amazing.
because it led with that. It started
Yes.
with that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
it
And-
stayed
and, like,
true to itself the entire
yes.
time.
And in my opinion, one of the greatest plot twists of all time is the end of the first movie.
Yes.
End of the first movie, one of
Yes.
the greatest plot twists of all time. Not only that, one of the greatest psychological films. Because you think about it, the first film wasn't that gory. It really wasn't that gory.
Isn't
It
Saw
was
James Wan?
Yes.
James Wan, yeah.
James Wan. Remember, it was just like, it
It
was
was two dudes in a grimy bathroom sawing off their feet.
It was literally only 3 locations. It was 2 locations
It was
one
the
location
house-
for each of the guys.
Yeah, it was the house
and then the room
Yeah, it was the house, the apartment, and then it was the room. That was it.
and
That
the car
was it.
park.
And the car park.
That's
yeah.
it though.
That's it. But and then not only that too, as a psychological film, because these two guys are like, well, we have no connection to each other, and they had to figure out what is connecting them, and also.
There's a dead fucking body in the middle of them.
Yes,
I would
but
have been like, tell me everything about you now.
But plus, like the thing about the guy, I forgot the guy's name, who was helping John Kramer in like to capture the other guys. The one because obviously he's down on the floor, but the guy that he had like kidnapping the doctor's family and all that stuff like that. It's like the connection, and it's like because it's like you're so up close to it. Once it like the proverbial camera zooms out, you see everything. You're like, oh shit, that's crazy.
And you know what's funny? It's probably one of the greatest horror movies to have the least amount of kills.
100%.
Because when I
100%.
was just sitting there thinking about it, because remind me, who dies in the end? Who?
The drug dealer.
the photographer.
Yeah.
Okay, so the other dude gets out, right?
Yeah. Well, because the doctor he continues John's work.
At the end of Saw 7?
No,
6?
no. Wait, you're talking about the doctor?
Yeah, when do we see him again?
Like Saw 5, dude.
Was this Saw 5?
Yeah.
Huh.
Because remember in
Matt.
Saw
You didn't
in
like
Saw
him as-
3.
Matt didn't
I saw
he
it.
didn't
he didn't like Chris
but
Rock.
because remember in Saw 3.
Chris Rock is Chris Rock.
In
You gotta
Saw
just
3,
get past it.
I liked Samuel L. Jackson. In
Sorry,
it, though.
man.
Well, do you remember in Saw 3 when at the end of the house trap, the cop ends up becoming he was in Saw 4.
Yeah.
So at the end of Saw 5, because Amanda was in Saw 4, at the end of Saw 5 was when the doctor and Amanda have that like rivalry, and then Amanda starts making inescapable traps. That's what happens.
Matt
I
said
really liked. What do you say?
he said every time he heard Chris Rock, he thought of Matt.
Dog, that's a you problem. That's a straight up you problem. I heard.
Honestly, I get it though, but I honestly think that Chris Rock stepped up to the plate this time because him and Samuel, I don't know
have to
what it
watch
was,
it.
but we really liked that movie. Like I had no
I have to
issues
watch
with
it.
it.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Saw franchise, so I have to watch it.
Do you like Samuel L. Jackson? Do you like Chris Rock?
Yes,
You'll like
but-
the movie.
But hold on,
Although
hold on.
it's funny because I watched Bring the Pain, Chris Rock's special Bring the Pain like a week ago,
Oh, yeah.
and it's so goddamn funny. It's so funny.
So Scream. Anything else you want to? I feel bad.
I really want it to be good. That's the only thing that I could say at this point because we don't know shit about it.
So
I just want it to be good.
Of course, yeah.
Here's my prediction, just to be safe.
Matt said, "I ain't fair."
If they want,
Nikki's like, it's gonna be trash. But
if they want to really be meta, they want to really fuck us up. Kill off the big three.
Oh, I honestly, it's weird to say.
Kill
I
off the big
kind of
three.
hope that if they want to finish the Scream franchise here, they kill off Sidney Prescott in some sort of like she kills the guy, she ends up dying. Because she's getting up in age.
That's how I think they're going to end Halloween. Is that Laurie and Michael are going to be the death of each other?
Because I love continuous stories, but I wish things would just end sometimes.
So do I.
So I just want it.
Once this Halloween ends, I don't want any more with what we have. I don't want them.
I also don't want a happy ending.
I also don't want a happy
Same.
ending. I want him to slaughter that entire town just to make me happy. Because basically what Halloween Kills was Michael cleaning up the idiots of that town.
Yeah.
I mean, even
But I think a shocker would be killing off Dewey, Gale, and Sydney.
I feel like they're going to because
they would be the only last three. And I don't know if Gale and him had kids or anything, so there would
They
be
didn't.
They
So-
didn't.
or
So
what
there
we
was-
Or even more meta is if they just they kill off Sydney and Gale and let Dewey live because they live like the one like side character from the franchise live on.
who's
the
been
thing
battered
was,
the most?
with the trailers, we see that Dewey and Gale have already broken up.
Yeah.
Dewey's living in a trailer of some sort. Gale's on her own. Right. Dewey's in like decrepit state. He's old as fuck. Like he's tired. I mean, in the series itself, he's been stabbed in every single series along with additional injuries.
Yeah.
So it's just
No offense to Dewey, but
Oh, here we go.
Gale, I know she's a bitch.
But
He's done a lot,
in my opinion.
in my fucking opinion. But Gale kind of deserved a little better than the hometown cop, to be honest. I like her.
I think it fit for her character that she ended up settling.
Oh no, of course. But that, as a woman, that still pisses me off.
As someone who likes Dewey.
So yeah,
She
I
deserved
think if they killed off the big three, because really for Laurie Strode, this is the end. There's really they killed off Sheriff Brackett, they killed off Tommy Doyle.
Yeah.
Apparently Lindsay's, which I have to say, Kyle Richards did a great job as Lindsay in this last movie. She's supposed to take on a bigger role in this next film, in this last one. So I think on both of our ends, if this doesn't work out on these last two movies, you and I are just fucking done.
We're
yeah.
just gonna be we're gonna be insufferable.
Yeah.
You're gonna be I'm gonna be insufferable until Halloween End comes out, and I'm gonna be like, "Welcome to the club."
Yeah.
What's the studio that's doing Scream right now?
It's not Blumhouse.
Okay,
Thank God.
So Michael is at Universal and Blumhouse. I'm gonna be at the Universal Studio lot, and you're gonna be at whatever lot, just protesting, just fucking protesting, just fucking.
Spyglass. Oh, Spyglass.
Oh,
Spyglass
Spyglass.
has it.
No shit.
Fuck yeah! I'm getting a good movie. Let's go.
Dude, I'm gonna be so pissed if this is better than mine.
So you're gonna be insufferable because he's gonna be fine.
No, I'm gonna be so obnoxious. I'm gonna be like, "Where's your good movie,
I
Nikki?
was about to say that. Where's your ending, Nikki?
Where's Jamie, Nikki?"
Where's your fucking director, Gibby?
Damn. Damn.
Hey, same dude.
Hold on. And with that, Nerding Out's back. Bye.
Say it with your That's me, fool. Say it with your chest.
What happened? Damn.
Say it with your chest.
Where's your director?
Nah, it just goes damn.
And for that,
Jesus.
You didn't me.
Yeah, we're gonna call it there.
for that, Nerding Out's back.
We will see you guys in the next stream. Thank you guys so much. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at SDM Podcast on TikTok, Strawberry Death Machine on my word on Instagram.
So you can listen to our podcast. If you're listening to this on a podcast, you can also watch this on youtube.tv/Strawberry Death Machine. YouTube.tv, youtube.com/Strawberry Death Machine.
Yeah, just Google Strawberry Death Machine. We're on here.
And then also we have a Twitch channel, Strawberry Death Machine. Strawberry Death Machine. That's me. I play games. We're probably gonna play Dead by Daylight soon.
Yeah.
We're gonna play that on our YouTube.
I'll download it today.
We're gonna play
we're
that
all
on.
gonna get back into heavy streaming.
We'll play that on our YouTube, Strawberry Death Machine Gaming. Also, what we want to do is eventually, like over over time, we're going to start doing D&D streams. If you guys are interested in that, Strawberry Death Machine Gaming on YouTube. We're going to be posting that there.
Also, watch this guy, twitch.tv/Strawberry Death Machine. He plays video games often. He's doing Destiny 2 right now. He's doing Dark Souls right now.
Dark Souls still.
Yeah, well, he's playing Dark Souls and Destiny simultaneously with the boy
I
Garrick.
like to suffer.
And remember, Team Michael, not Team Ghostface. Don't you fucking touch him.
I'm going to rip his arm off right now.
Fuck y'all, Team Jigsaw. Deuces, y'all.
Bye.
I thought you said Team Jacob.
No, fuck y'all. Team Jigsaw for the win, dude.
Team Jacob for the win. Let's go.
I ended the stream.